Yo guys, what's up? Black Lotus back again with episode 12 of the Satisfactory playthrough that we're doing here on the channel. Right, so this is the continuation of the previous one where we built all the smelters and the constructors on top, which is halfway finished here. So yeah, anyway, forgot to show this in the previous video. I think I'm not sure myself, but I did build this elevator over here, which the background light is kind of reflecting off the glass wall at the moment. So yeah, kind of shines up brightly. But anyway, made this and used the basic wall because I was planning on using the concrete wall. If I can just quickly get it, the concrete wall, and paint it black. But if you paint it black, it doesn't actually come off that good. Like if you shine a light on it, it kind of almost looks like the same as the normal foundation. So yeah, I just went with the basic one, just like give it something extra. It puts more focus on it in general. So yeah, but for now I'm just gonna continue on with this constructors over here, place more down and more constructors down, and make sure I did my maths correctly regarding the amount of resources that's being delivered, because I think I did it right, but at the end I'll most likely see if I messed up majorly or I just messed up barely or I did everything correct, but we'll see. But I'm just gonna create another line which will consist of making the other items I need for the rotors and the modular frames and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now, and then I'll have to see, because I'm gonna have to make a third floor. But for now, let's just quickly get that done, and it's done. Right, didn't connect anything up on the back side, but I did all the maths. Well, most of it. Anyway, this line is gonna produce, I can put 4 assemblers in total, producing iron plates, which the fourth one must be underclocked, produced, running at 33.3333% with the output. So if I just can get that, make that 33.3333%, it uses 10 plates. Then this line should have enough plates running to the first 5, and then these are gonna produce rods, and these last 3 I'm gonna use for just to put into the storage crate for when I do not need those materials, since you do mostly use all 3 of those materials throughout the whole game. So I do have those 3 just providing you with enough, and when the storage is filled up, you can just run through the system. But enough of that. The plan I do have is, now I don't know how I'm going to completely do it, but I do want to run everything on a stacked line kind of. So for example, like the iron plates will run in the bottom line, the rods will run in a line above the bottom line, and the screws I'm going to produce somewhere else, just so those 2 materials are stacked and not in the way, if you understand what I mean. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to figure that out. I also have this massive space back here, but we'll do what we can when the time arises. I'm also gonna bring this one up and do a wall mount of ceiling mount running over here into there, and then I'm gonna put the assemblers on top. But for now, it's this line I'm just kind of struggling with at the moment. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. Maybe I do need to. Why? I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I know I kind of want to run the line like this. Let's just back it up a bit, and all the materials ending up. Why does it keep snapping to different points? Right, all the materials ending up there, and then I'm gonna put a stackable conveyor pole and just stack the other conveyors with the outputs of the other items onto there, and just can kind of put mergers here and there to link these up if they're producing the same materials, so I know that I am producing enough of all that, if that makes sense. That's kind of the idea I'm going with. I'm still playing around with all the numbers because the rotors, I'm not sure how much I can produce, but I do know I do have enough materials to produce a decent amount of rotors also, which then I might actually ship the rotors off to a different facility. I'm just gonna place for the motors maybe, instead of maybe just producing motors also at the steel factory, I can just like take a monorail and let the motors be delivered to that factory. But yeah, we'll see. First, it's this problem. And why doesn't it look like it's centered? Because it isn't. I'm gonna have to change that. And that's done. Right. So yeah, but this is kind of like just a trial phase. There might be too much constructors at this side at the moment. I'm not sure. We'll see when I start setting everything up and doing the final calculations of all the resources coming in and getting sent out upwards to the assemblers, what I'm gonna do. But this is what I have for now. Just basically mirror this side over to here, just like get an idea of what I'm working with. So yeah, but I do also have 240 materials coming up on this side, which I'm gonna run over, so there should be enough depending on what materials I make. There might be too much or too little, but yeah, we will see. But while we're here, feel free, if you haven't checked out the previous episodes and you don't know what I'm talking about, the steel and stuff like that, feel free to check out the playlist. I'll link it up there in the top right corner for you guys to go click on and check it out if you want to. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe leave a comment if you enjoy my content. I would really appreciate that. But back to this. Right, so once again changed up a bit. I had to move this back since the space for the lift, while I needed a bit more space for the lift to just like put the merger on top. So yeah, that's kind of what I went with. I know it's floating at the moment. I just used it for concept, so I can basically just send materials in like that, and it kind of works like that. And the bottom materials, if whatever the bottom line is of resources coming through, I'll just basically place a merger, then going this direction, place a merger down here, and the resources can just, whatever kind of resources flowing down at the bottom runs through the bottom line, and whatever's on top runs through top right. Since I'm only just running two types of materials down, I'm only gonna have two lines, so it won't be a problem. So most likely gonna just work out what's gonna go into these lines, and yeah, just link it up right like that, and it works, and it actually just looks a lot cleaner than just running a lot of useless conveyors down or just whatever. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm going with at the moment. Alrighty, so I did most of the maths. This line is using 240 230 if I'm correct, the 100% or 240, I'm not sure, but I know it's close to 100 or 100. This line I'm gonna underclock the miner and all the smelters underneath to a 165, because this whole line uses 165 iron, because it's all producing iron rods and screws, which I'm gonna use for the rotors, some of them, because rotors, just get over here real quick, slide, okay, rotor, this is the reinforced plates, modular frames, right, the rotors uses 100 screws per minute, 20 rods per minute, right? So I'm not sure how many of these rods I'm gonna use, but let's say, I might place down two assemblers doing rotors, the modular bolted frame, because this is 140 screws. So some of these screws are also going to go in there. So yeah, in total I'm going to produce a lot of screws and rods. The plates not so much, because I'm only using the plates for the reinforced plating over here. So yeah. Plates are just going to be for the modular frames and the reinforced plating and stuff. So yeah, the screws are gonna be top priority. A lot of iron rods. I might change this up, just change it here and there in the future, clock it more and expand outwards, because this line can produce a lot more than just 480. It can produce 720. I'm just using 4 miners for now. So yeah, that's a lot of resources coming in, so this is going to expand that side. Iron rods, I guess. Righty, so got it linked up, made an elevator running upwards over here, all the way down there to that side, delivering all the necessary resources, right? So also found out I can only do one assembler doing modular frames, another and 2 doing rotors, and the rest of them with the resources there is doing reinforced plates. So yeah, it's quite still not as much as I hoped it would be, but it'll have to do for now. At least I know I'm providing enough materials, and it will most likely all run efficient, and at the end of everything over here running into a sink, just like trashing the overflow, because there's gonna be overflow of screws or even plates. I might even change up some of these plates to produce more rods or something. I'll see, but yeah, this is for now what I have. I did place a third one up here just to kind of get an idea, and it kind of works. Still floating, don't change that, but it is working. I might split off some of the rods that's gonna be used for screws into that line, just like to get those resources separated, so I don't struggle to split it off into the different directions for what needs screws and what doesn't need screws and stuff like that. So yeah, just to do it at the moment. So we'll see, but this first 5 lines is going to be plates, so I'm going to do that at the bottom. The second line is going to be rods, the third line going to the ceiling for the screws. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to most likely split them off here just to run into different sides, because I can't run them all into one line and then upward. And the connecting is done finally at last. I think it does look very satisfying to look at, right? But I mean, it is satisfactory. Just linked it all up like this with a bunch of mergers. I know some of the mergers wasn't necessary to be there, but I mean, if I'm expanding in the future and I want to change certain things up, the line is already made for me to just link it all up. So maybe it doesn't have to be there, but I can change it. I mean, I might even just remove some of them in the future and just like link it back up again. But for now, I just went for this. Does look nice, does look all organized. The ones going on top is the rods for the screws, the middle is just the rods, and the bottom is the plates that's going in. So yeah, now it's just basically bringing it to the top, which I'm not sure. I'm gonna use the bare floor, but the conveyor floor for this one's gonna have to be in the middle like that. So I can just basically do that, put it in the reverse, and just link it up. And the rest I can just kind of bring to the sides and bring it upwards. Not sure how I'm gonna do it exactly, but I'm gonna do that. And then on top I'll decide where I'm gonna put the resources, or let the resources go. I think though it might be easier if I went ahead. Just quickly want to check it out. Hold on, never mind. I'm gonna bring it up a bit more. Well, there it should be fine. Just to kind of get it like that, 2 backwards, and forgot to place down the elevator like that, then running into there past that nice corner. So the rods for the screws are just already on the side, so I don't have to worry about running it into a bunch of constructors. When it's placed in the middle, I'm gonna have these both lines interfering with what I want to do. So yeah, I just had to make that. The plates I'm most likely gonna bring out on the far side, and the rods in the middle, because those are just gonna go in a row like as they are at the moment into the assemblers, so I don't have to worry about putting them also through constructors and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I have. I'm done with this floor for now. I'm gonna go to the top floor, place down the assemblers and the constructors for the 360 screws, because that's the amount of screws I need to make to run everything, because most of the things I'm crafting does use screws to make them. So yeah, but bam, this looks amazing. Alrighty, so got all the, I want to copy the settings, got all the constructors down on top here. Just want to paste all the settings in for the screws. These are there's about 9 constructors running down this line, which will produce 360 screws for me. So yeah, these are all coming in here. I'm running this line over here, down there. This is bringing up the iron rods, and this one bringing up the plates, which I'm also gonna sling down this line, everything, and then at the end I'm just gonna build a temporary storage, and also want to upgrade this facility. And once this one is upgraded, I'm gonna make a dedicated storage for all my resources to go to, so I don't have to struggle around about running around this side and that side getting all those materials. So yeah, and I'm done, guys. Finally got it all set up. Have all the assemblers right here. It's nothing much, but it'll suffice. It is expandable. For the assemblers, I might have to remove quite a bit of stuff if I want to expand on it, but I'll work around it, or I'll even remove it and just replace it, because I'm going to expand in that direction if I expand, or I can expand there where that chest, the storages is at the moment, but the storages are going to get removed because all the items going to get transported to a different location, so that's fine. But what I've done here, this is the line for the rods going in, for the screws. The screws all getting merged up from there, running all the way to there. The rods coming up here, the screws going on top, and the plates underneath here running like this. And I forgot to connect the plates, right? That's connected. These all running, the plates going into here, with the screws also going down, plates here, screws down. And the reinforced plate that's getting made here will go around into here. This is producing 10 per minute, and this one is using 7.5 per minute. So that's fine, because I might also made a smart splitter over here, putting the overflow straight into there. So when that gets filled up eventually, it will just keep on flowing through here. So yeah, but I can also eventually make a dedicated line for reinforced plating, because I think I'm gonna run a bit inefficient here and there, but yeah. So, but these are gonna get overflow that way, this making the modular frames going to this line. Also the rotors also getting made here, flowing to this line. All these lines, the screws and I forgot the plates over there. I'll figure that out in a sec. But the screws and the rods going to this system over here, screws coming down, going to this merger, then this merger going upwards over there, and going into all these smart splitters over here, and eventually going into the sink. Maybe I did make it a bit too spaghetti-ish over here, but it's running straight and beautiful and not in the way whatsoever. The only problem with what I forgot is that one over there. I'm gonna have to rework that a bit, but yeah, I'll figure that out a bit later, because I'm gonna produce a lot more plates than I need to. So yeah, the storages are gonna get quite filled up fast with rods and plates. The screws might not even get filled up. I think I'm using all the screws, and the rest of the items should eventually go in, and the reinforced plates also are going to go slow. But I've basically also on top made screws and an overflow running to there, rods overflow, plates overflow, reinforced plates overflow, and rotors and so on. And eventually then going into the sink once everything is full. So yeah, I must say it does look quite nice. Not a lot of workspace, so I might use catwalks just to get up and like walk on the stuff much easier. But it looks nice. It looks a lot neater than it did look, and it is organized to some extent. Same down here. Also what I did back here, made this one, so the top one going to there, and the rods and the plates going into a ladder-ish way. So yeah, I think that looks very neat. Everything looks a lot better than it did. So yeah, but I also think this is gonna be it for this video, guys. There's gonna be a semi part 3, I guess you can say, but in the next episode I'm gonna then link everything up to power, get it all up and running, get the miners connected to there so that this factory can start producing, and then start maybe decorating it, adding some walls here and there, and just giving the structure something to be making the structure into something that will be nice to look at. And we're also gonna start on the second phase of the space elevator, so we can start getting monorails and stuff. But I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do smash that like button. If you didn't, dislike. Do leave a comment on what you would like to see next, or if you have any tips for me, or if you just want to know what I've done or why I did it like that. Feel free to ask that in the comments. But yeah, until next time, guys, bye.